Okay, so when you're ready to turn in the assignment, you're going to go to the Open Lab. If you've never used the Open Lab before, you're going to have to create a profile. It's not hard to do, but there's a few steps. So there's some instructions here that you can follow to create your Open Lab profile. You do have to be signed in to your BMCC email or BMCC portal, but I think everybody is good to go with that. So you just have to sign in here. If you're like, you can see that I'm logged in. If I log out, what you'll see will look like this. You'll see, if you just go to the Open Lab homepage, you'll just see sign up and login. And so if you've done it before, you can go to login. If not, you go to sign up. If you go to sign up, you have to fill out a few things. You can just go through it pretty quickly. If you have questions, we can go over it. I'm going to log in, and it's going to take me through this like thing. My info is already in here, so I'm just going to click login. Then, in order to post on the class site, you have to join the class. There's a couple ways to get to the class. If you're on the main Open Lab page and you go to courses, it shows the classes that have the most recent updates. So my class will probably be up here. So yeah, you can see there's my class there. If it's not in the most recently updated courses, you can just search for ANI 260 and it should come up pretty close to the top. So yeah, and you can see there's my name, and that's our class. And if I click here, for me, I created the class, which is why this button says clone this course under the logo. But if you did not create the class, what you're going to see is a button that says join. And when you click join, it's going to add you to the class, which gives you permission to post on the website. So when you click join, you'll see, you'll become one of the members down here. You can see my avatar is this little apple. If you want to add an avatar, that's a good way to make your profile recognizable, but you don't have to do that. But once you've added the course, you don't actually have to be in the Open Lab most of the time. Most of the time, you're just on the course site. So you can go to visit course site, and this will bring us back to this page that should look familiar. And now, if you want to make a post, all you have to do is click this little plus button. If you go down to post, or if you just click the plus button, that defaults to post. So I'm just going to click the plus button. It's going to bring me to the post editor. If you've used a WordPress before, this should look pretty familiar. If not, I'll go over some of the basics. It's not too hard to use, but there's a few things that you have to do. So you're going to get this little red guy that says, please select a category. So you want to make sure to categorize the post. That makes it easier to look at all the posts together later. And so if you need to categorize the post, I can't move this thing, it's kind of annoying. Anyway, yeah, maybe if I bring up this, can I move this? There we go, okay. Okay, so if you don't see this toolbar on the right, then you can click on this little button here, and that'll show you the toolbar. And then there's two different parts to the toolbar. One is for your post, and then one is for the editor. So for the post, to select a category, we have to go down here to categories. And actually, I was going to import the categories, but there was a problem with the WordPress, so I didn't do that. But anyway, we can just click add a new category, and we're going to call this animated GIF, and just add the new category. So you guys can choose this category when you submit your assignments. So now we have a category, so that's good. And then we can put a title here, my animated GIF. And then your username will be associated with the post. So you don't have to put your name there, but you can if you want. And then all we're going to do here is add your animated GIF and then a sentence about what your GIF is doing. One of the things we want to get used to doing as we post our work is explaining what it is. Creating a good portfolio is partly having good work to show in your portfolio, but it's also explaining what we're looking at. Because your portfolio, you might be posting something where you did the animation, but somebody else might have done the writing or the sound. So you want to make sure to explain what part of the piece you were responsible for in the portfolio. So when you send it to, an employer or whoever, something that you're applying for, they know what you were responsible for. So I'm going to say here is my animated GIF that I created in Piskel. The animation shows a flower growing, oops, whoops, and then turning upside down. So just a quick explanation of what you are going for with the animation. And now we're just going to upload the animation. There's a couple ways to do this. One is you can just drag and drop. So if I have my Finder open, you won't be able to see this in the video, but you guys can see it in here. I can just drag, so I can just grab this GIF and I just drag it in here. And if you see that blue block, that means it's going to work. If you don't see that blue block, if it's up here or something like that, it's not going to work. So we got to get that blue block, and then we put it in there, and there we go. There's our animation. Okay, the other way to do it, I'll just delete this real quick. Another way to do it is to create a new block in WordPress. So I can hit enter, and then if I hover over this, you don't see it if you're not like moving the mouse, but when you move the mouse, you'll see this plus button over here to add a block. And you can use this to add any different type of content that you might want to put in your post. So you can add an image, you can add lists, headings, whatever you want to add. So we're going to add an image here. An animated GIF is an image file, even though it's animated. So I'm going to click image. And so now I have an image block. And to upload from my computer, I just click upload. And now I just have to find it on the computer. So I'm going to go to my desktop. There's my flower animation. I'm going to click open. And there we go. We have our flower animation. There's some settings you can do here, like I can set the resolution, I can change the aspect ratio, but you probably don't really need to do anything on this. And so when you're ready to publish your post, you may want to take a look at it, make sure it looks okay. So you can click on this little preview button and go to preview in tab. And this will bring up what your post is going to look like. And so yeah, this looks good. You can see the animation, you can see the text, so this all looks fine. So if you like what you see, click publish. You have to click it twice for some reason, so you click publish, you click it again, and now you're going to get the URL for your post. And so you can copy this URL, you can go to view post, and you can also copy it directly from the browser bar, so you can just select this and hit Control-C, or you can right-click and hit copy. We just need this URL. That's what we're going to post in Blackboard. So this looks good. And so now you'll see once I've posted this, if I go to posts, this is going to show up in the feed. Although it doesn't show the animation. Maybe that's a setting I can change, but it just shows the text. That's okay. I can see a bunch of you guys have already added on here. So the nice thing is if I click on my name, I'm also going to see all of my posts. And if I click on the category, oh, it doesn't show the category. Okay, that's another setting I'll have to look for. It should usually show the category somewhere, and you can click on the category and see stuff that way. But as I mentioned, I had to remake this this WordPress blog, so I may have to redo some of the settings. Anyway, I'll figure that out later. Okay, so anyway, so we've got the URL. Make sure it's the URL for the page that we can see, not for the post that you edited. So if you're still editing the post, so if I go over here, you'll see something that looks different. It's going to say WP admin, da 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 da. That's not the post that we want to submit because that's the post that you have when you're editing. What we want to see is the public post. So how do I get back there? I can go to post summary and go to the URL and go back here. So we want to make sure we're looking at the post that's publicly available. So this is all we have to do to submit the assignment. Just copy this URL, go over to Blackboard. I'm going to go to student view just so it looks like what you guys will see. You're going to go over to assignments, go to animated GIF, and literally all you're going to do is create the submission, just paste this link in here. You don't have to paste anything else. Later, you are going to have to add in files like your the editing files that you make in Adobe Animate and stuff like that. So that'll give me the ability to open them on my computer and take a look at like your layers and all that other stuff. But for now, you just have to post this link. So once you do that, you click submit, and you'll be able to, you'll have submitted the assignment. You can always start a new one. So if you copied the wrong thing or you want to add something, you can just click start new. And remember, you can always look at the rubric. So actually I'm going to open this in a new window. So you can click on this rubric and you'll see all the different things that you have to do and how many points they're worth. So when I go through and grade, I'm really just going to go through, did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? If you missed something, maybe you forgot to do it, I'm just going to write right there, you didn't do this, or this needs some work, this could be better, etc. If you want to resubmit, you can always resubmit your assignment. So if you submit something and you got most of it right, but I said the animation isn't long enough, or you used the wrong file type, or the post didn't work, or something like that, you can redo it and just submit it again, and I'll grade it again. Okay, so I think that's everything. I'm going to stop the recording here, and then I'll see if there's any questions, and then we can use the rest of the class to finish your animation and then submit your work on OpenLab.